Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wrestling Fluency, where we speak wrestling, and we hope you do too. I am your host, Million Dollar Matt, aka King of Pennsylvania Strong Style, aka the Moneymaker Heartbreaker, aka this is actually a new moniker that I actually came up with, the Champion of Time. And I am joined again by my co-host and podcast tag team partner,
the Alabama Slammer, Brandy.
Woohoo! Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Matt. I'm doing well. Busy times, but here we are.
Oh yeah. It's definitely been a busy time of the year, everybody. This is actually Valentine's Day week, so I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. Whether you are single as a Pringle like myself, ladies, feel free to slide in my DM. Or, hey, nothing wrong with me shooting my shot.
I can't get past single as a Pringle. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Or if you happen to be booed up, I hope you couples out there have had a wonderful time, had a great dinner, and got some flowers and candy, all that good stuff, and just had a great day.
Yeah, I'm like single as a Pringle, solo as a mofo. Just keep thinking of different. It put me in a spiral of different terms.
Yeah, that just came off the cuff too.
That's funny. Did you get any Valentine's Day candy?
No, but I happened to just buy myself some Reese's.
Yeah, I had some Valentine's Day candy, and it was very tasty.
Yep.
But I am kind of over it by now, because it was one of the big packs. I'm like, this has been nice, but I may die of a sugar coma.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably got a week supply.
It was a lot. But it was tasty.
Yep. So I was say, if you want to find your way to my heart, just get me some Reese cups.
Reese cups is your thing. Got it.
Yep. That's my favorite candy of all time. Nobody could tell me any different.
A different way to my heart. Mexican food is how you get to my heart.
Oh yeah. Since we're talking about food, well, Million Dollar Matt happens to be a foodie himself, but my go-to, and funny story about this, when my mom was pregnant with me, the only thing she could eat was pizza and Scrapple. And ever since then, I love me some pizza. So
now you're making me want pizza for dinner. I just spent like 2 hours meal prepping, and now I'm like, ooh, but pizza though.
Yeah, hey, you can't go wrong with pizza.
That's very true.
Pizza's life. And I will say I've had my pizza fix Saturday, so I'm good on pizza for now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, aside from Valentine's Day, let's dive into our topic. And it is February, and our episode is going to be evolved around Black History Month.
Yeah, or Black Excellence Month, as we've been calling it.
That's right. Black Excellence. And we got a lot of favorites that are African American that we really enjoy and have been entertained by for years and have been a fan of. I myself, being a young black man, I really appreciate when you have those moments where I finally see someone get a championship or get a big push.
Yes.
I was going to say, I definitely marked out on I guess it was not the last episode of Dynamite, but before that, when Keith Lee made his debut. And if y'all don't know, Keith Lee is another favorite wrestler of mine in existence. I marked out. I went nuts. I was like, Keith Lee! I still go back and watch that moment.
The internet exploded. They were very excited to see Keith Lee. I was very excited to see Keith Lee.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, that guy is a prime example of winning in life. Got married and got a new job.
Mm-hmm.
all in a span of 1 or 2 weeks. I was like, that's an example of winning at life.
Yeah, not doing so bad for himself.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And not only that, got a big response from the AEW crowd.
Yeah. Well, he's just such a talented performer.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we've talked in the past about how a lot of times, especially young black men in wrestling, get typecast into different things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's so special about Keith Lee is he was like, no, this is actually who I am. And he was very articulate and like just this cool kind of cosmic-y kind of character that you hadn't really seen portrayed a lot very much before. And it was really cool.
Yep. Or as one of my favorite Wrestle Talk or Parts Fun known or personalities, Adam Blampied would say, just like the love child of, I could be paraphrasing, and Adam, I'm sorry if you watch this, I'm going to butcher your description of Keith Lee, but like a combination of Barry White and a bear.
Yes, that is very good. Exactly. He's just smooth. The way he talks is just buttery. Yeah,
it's exactly how you described it too, Brandy. Just like very buttery.
Mm-hmm. That's I find. I mean, I love how his wrestling style, but that's what I find especially appealing about him is his speaking style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like that guy.
So different than anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's definitely somebody who can definitely talk you into the room and make you feel like you're the most important person in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like an actual conversation. So, yeah. And I was going to say another shout out. Shout out to Isaiah Cassidy for taking them crazy bumps and making Keith look like a beast.
Yes, yeah. A lot of times when we come and we see the guy that's throwing them all around, we get so excited about the big guy who's able to throw them, we forget about the guy who's taking those bumps and making it look so good.
Mm-hmm.
And so he definitely deserves major props for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's almost like how I mentioned before in a previous episode. If y'all haven't seen it, which is our Dream Matches episode, you need to go back and watch it, because if you've listened, I've mentioned before that Leon Ruff made Karrion Kross look like $1 million. Like, he made his moves look like they actually hurt. And I was just like, oof. I feel bad for Leon Ruff, but you know what? He's making Karrion Kross look like a beast.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, have you seen Karrion Kross since he grew the hair back out?
Holy cow, he looks
totally different.
Totally different. Yeah. I think
he looks better.
Yeah,
much better.
I think so too. Although, even though when he was bald, he looked very menacing. Now with the hair, he looks even more menacing. I think that's the word I was looking for that.
Yeah, I think he mentioned before. Excuse me. He mentioned before that he just felt like the bald head was the way that character needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, totally, I totally get it. But I didn't realize he was actually an attractive man until he had the hair again. I was like, oh, and that just lends to how menacing that the character did look. The bald head and stuff.
Yeah, he looked like a final boss to a video game.
I know. Now I'm like, oh yeah, okay, Scarlett. I see.
Yeah. Yep, and the feeling's mutual with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, but that's another story for another time. But all right, so now that we are into our Black History Month, and since we went on a bit of a tangent, okay, yep. Yeah, hey, that's the price you pay when you click on a Wrestling Fluency episode. We're going to get into tangents, and we're going to get into all kinds of rants and just different segues. So deal with it, people. We're putting it out there. But anyway, one of my favorite Black History moments, and it stands out pure as day. I was talking to Brandy about this before we started the episode. I think this had to be back when I was 6 or 7 years old, and that is when Ron Simmons beat Big Van Vader for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And that was one of those things. It's almost like I can put that on the level of the Keith Lee AEW debut. Like, I was going ape shit because I was like, holy cow, one of my people actually won a heavyweight championship. Like, this is amazing.
Did you feel that way when Booker won as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Although I will say I still have a bone to pick when he was feuding with Triple H and was built up to win the title and didn't win.
That whole storyline is just shrouded in controversy because of the not nice comments that Triple H made.
Yeah. And on top of that, that made Triple H more of a bad guy and made me want to see him get his ass kicked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I love Booker T because I loved Harlem Heat.
Same here.
I was like, they look so cool because they had the coolest gear and they were just these big guys, but they did all this really athletic stuff. And so when Booker came to WWE, I was like, yes, keep going, Booker. It's sad that you don't have Stevie with you anymore, but keep going. So when he finally, started picking up steam, I was so happy for him. And when his wife came in and did the King Booker stuff, I was like,
oh, yeah.
This is the only time besides Jerry, the King Lawler, that this King crap has worked, is when Booker and Sharmell did it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed that King Booker moment. Or King Booker angle.
Yeah. He did it. That's the only time I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. And funny thing, Brandy, this is going to come into another segue, but I was at a SmackDown Raw Super Show, and I know King Booker was involved. I forget who they were facing, but I just remember Regal getting on the mic the whole time and annoying the shit out of the crowd, saying, "Oh, hail King Booker!" I was just cracking up laughing in the crowd the whole time.
Oh, my gosh.
Regal's such a gem.
I know. I wonder... I'm getting off topic again, but he got released from WWE, and I'm just waiting for AEW to snap him up. I'm like, come on, he could help you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely, especially as someone that could help out backstage.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a shame, but I really love the King Booker gimmick. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was cool when his segments with Crime Time, where he would do the Royal King Booker stuff, and then next thing you know, turn back into regular Booker T saying, "What the hell?"
Mm-hmm. But Booker T is also really responsible for a lot of young black talent too, as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he's one of those people. He trailblazed, and then he has. His time has come, and he has gracefully stepped aside, unlike a lot of people in wrestling. Mm-hmm. He gracefully stepped aside, and now he elevates other young talent. A lot of women talent, too, he helps elevate. Ember Moon, Bianca Belair, AQA, that was recently on AEW. I was
just going to mention her, yep.
Yeah, so Booker out here doing, the work for the community.
Yep. Can't forget my other boo, although she has a boo, Jade Cargill.
Gosh. That woman.
I love me some Jade Cargill.
She's so gorgeous. I am obsessed with her makeup. Every time she comes out and she has glittery. So I have been desperately trying to find who does her makeup. Finally found it. And I was just on the girl's Instagram, I love the makeup you do for Jade. She looks so beautiful.
Yep. And not to mention, she's fine. Her dude's a lucky guy. You're a lucky guy, my man.
And what a cool role model for her kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because she's this is what I like about Jade Cargill. Is she's this big, strong woman. This not a traditionally femme body, but then she does dress up and be more traditionally femme and stuff like that. She does both. I love it when you have people who can do both.
Mm-hmm.
Like androgyny, I love kind of androgynous stuff. But like, so that's why also people like Rhea Ripley and stuff like that. Like, they love that. She just looks like a superior athlete, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a fascinating looking woman, she's getting so much better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially from the rumor I heard, she's actually been working with American Dragon.
Yes, I heard that's kind of like one of the roles Daniel is playing, or Brian is playing, which is great because it's one of the roles he's wanted to play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And who better to pair her with, you know?
Yep. And it goes to show the old saying, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. Well, it's working, and you can already see a marked you can see a difference in her performance quality from match to match at this point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We went on a tangent. Just here at Wrestling Fluency, we like Jade.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, y'all know what you signed up for when you clicked on this video.
Yeah.
And that's us speaking wrestling. And we hope you do too. And if you happen to, press a like on this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, baby.
Because we appreciate your support.
So talking about Booker and like black female wrestlers and stuff, another really important moment that happened, I think it was last year's WrestleMania, was Bianca and Sasha. Didn't they main event one of the nights?
Yes, they did.
I watched that and like got real choked up because as a woman, to see two women headlining WrestleMania, it's incredible. But even though I can't like fully relate, I can recognize how big of a deal it is for two black women to be doing it.
Right, definitely.
And to see them both up there and like get kind of emotional, and then they had a hell of a match. It was a really special moment. And like you knew when it was happening that it was special, and it was special for so many different reasons. You know, like there was a time in wrestling that like black entertainers couldn't wrestle with white entertainers.
Right.
And now two black women are headlining WrestleMania. Wow, what a journey to get there.
Yep, definitely. That was a trailblazing moment, and that's going to inspire the next generation of black female wrestlers and even black male wrestlers. Hopefully we can get black male wrestlers in there main eventing, because that's something I would definitely love to see, especially, like I said before, being a young black man and being a wrestling fan. I want to see guys like a Kofi Kingston get pushed, or like a Big E get pushed, or even, I was going to say, although unfortunate things happen with Bobby Lashley, I want to see Bobby Lashley main event.
Yeah, you know, I didn't see the pay-per-view, but I heard he got hurt.
Yeah, and apparently he's going to be out to get surgery on his shoulder.
Oh, bless his heart. What happened?
So they had an angle where he was having they were basically doing a concussion protocol type deal, but apparently he's been wrestling hurt. He's been wrestling hurt for a while, and needless to say, it was his shoulder.
Oh man.
He's from that, I guess, generation of wrestling where
you just push through.
Yeah, you push right through. Exactly. I mean, he came in around the time of ruthless aggression.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Lashley is one of those guys, one of those performers who has just had such a metamorphosis over his career. Like the suits and stuff he's been wearing, just the manner in which he carries himself, the addition of MVP. Bobby Lashley, like, for lack of better words, just got, like, in this last run, he got really sexy with his, like, style game going up and just the way he carried himself.
Yeah.
It was really hot. I was like, come on, Bobby.
And it's a shame on Instagram that you can't really, like, interact or mention Bobby Lashley, but I'll tell you this, if I ever got a chance, I'd be like, dude, I want to know where you get your suits at, man, because those suits are sharp as hell. Like, I'm not a big suit guy. I'm usually a jeans and a t-shirt guy. Yes, I know I'm breaking kayfabe from Million Dollar Matt, but still either way, like, I would love to rock suits pretty much like how Bobby Lashley or even how MVP's rocking them.
Well,
Like, I really like MVP suits as well, too.
Lucky for you, I happen to know who is styling him.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I look up this stuff. If I see their makeup and I see their like hair, and I'm like, man, they're looking good. Like, so for instance, Becky and Charlotte, but Charlotte in particular, I've been like, Charlotte has been fucking killing it. She looks amazing. Who is styling her? And I finally found out that it was this person named King Troy, who, guess what, happens to also be a young black man. So
I think I heard of him.
King Troy, yeah. So he's been styling. Not only has he been styling Seth, he's been styling Becky, Charlotte, and Bobby Lashley. Like, when Bobby Lashley, you could just tell, like, his suit game stepped up and he started wearing those, like, more colorful suits and things like that. That was King Troy. He's also been styling Sonya Deville lately. He's also been styling Mandy Rose with her new look that she's had. So his name is King Troy on Instagram. That's at King TROI.
Yeah.
Killing the game. Killing it. Everything when you look through his Instagram, it's just like, that's fire. Everything is just beautiful on there.
I'm going to have to check to see if I might have followed him, because there's times where I'll get on like a follow like tangent and I'll just like follow people, especially if they're involved with wrestling and all. I might be following him and not even know it.
Oh, I 100% follow him. If you make the gear for somebody and I like their gear, if you do the makeup for someone and I like the makeup, the suits and stuff like that, I follow you. I'm like, you're amazing. And I'm going to start tagging him, and like when we use photos on our moments that have the suits and stuff in it, or he styled the person, I'm gonna tag him. Just to make, because I'm just like, everybody needs to know that King Troy, you need to hire that man to style you, because oh my god.
Shoot, if I could afford it, I'd hire King Troy to style me. Shoot.
I was just like so impressed, because like Charlotte, I remember thinking, she was wearing something one day, and I was like, someone needs to teach this girl to dress. And then slowly but surely, I was like, okay, Charlotte. Okay, Charlotte. That's hot. And then Becky, when Becky came back, and when Seth started doing the whole drip thing, I was like,
I love Seth suits.
Yeah, that's who styles all of Seth's suits.
I definitely really love Seth suits.
Yeah. Everything that Seth wears is styled by Troy.
Yep. And call me crazy, I could see myself pulling them suits off. Or at least one or two of them anyway.
Let me tell you, I was in the comment section, and there were these dudes in there like talking about Bobby Lashley wore this like red, I think it was maybe paisley designed suit.
Right.
And I was like, good God, he looks so good in that. That's so hot. He looks so sexy. And I look in the comments, and there's a bunch of dudes like, what the fuck is Bobby wearing? I was like, things women want to see him in. I was like, you ain't got to understand it. It ain't for you, baby. It's for us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is probably some carpenter pants, jeans wearing, black t-shirt with a stain on it.
Yep. Still living in his mama's basement. And I was going to say, I can go into some other details, but they would be a little too explicit. I'm not going to go there.
I'm like, don't hate on a man for dressing well.
Yeah.
Don't hate on anyone for dressing well. It's just, I'm just like, and no one is coming into your house complaining about you wearing the same jeans for the past 6 months.
All right, exactly.
I was like, and furthermore, he looks hot. He looks fantastic. He looks like money. He looks like a big money player in that suit.
Yep, exactly.
Can't tell him nothing in that suit. He looks good. Leave him alone.
Yep, and like I said, more than likely, $1 Million Matt will be rocking a suit like that.
Yeah, it's a sexy suit. Men that wear tailored suits, sexy look.
Oh
Just
yeah.
if you're out there and you're like, no, I wouldn't wear that suit. That's stupid. Well, then you must not like women thinking you're hot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was going to say recently, Brandy and my niece is actually getting married. Not to go off topic, but um, I actually have a tuxedo jacket, and I'm going to be getting pants and shoes and a shirt and maybe even a bow tie to match.
Oh, I have a bow tie.
Really?
I used to wear it with like a leopard print button up with like a sweater over it.
Okay.
It was very like nerd, dark academia chic. Very
Yeah.
cute.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I do. I have a bow tie just floating around here somewhere.
That's pretty dope. Yeah,
I've
I
always.
know my dad got a whole bunch of bow ties and ties.
Oh,
So
super cute.
more than likely I'll be
Does he
borrowing
wear
some of
them?
his.
Does he wear them to church?
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
That's
For
one
sure.
thing. That's one thing that I have always loved about black churches is the clothing, the hats. All I was like, this is a season. This is like a runway. This is a moment.
We style and profile.
Yes, I'm like, yes, this is a. I love all of this. All of this.
Yep. Yeah, we style and profile, but that's the thing about our culture too. We've always been into style and fashion, and just for us to stand out and be styled very well and be have that well put together look, that's going to draw your eyes to the product in general.
Um, my grandmother was very specific that we have Sunday best kind of clothes growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
when we went to church, we went in our Sunday's best. So fashion was it wasn't so much fashion, but it was making sure you looked really good for church. You
Mm-hmm.
could look like crap all week, but when you went to church, like that's the only time that woman wore lipstick is when she went to church.
Oh, kind of like Marge Simpson.
Yeah. so so I totally get that looking good for church, but
Oh yeah.
there's this little black lady that lives close to me, and she'll walk to her church. It's walking distance. And when I work from home now, but when I like drove to work, I would see her sometimes, and I couldn't wait to see her because she would wear the cutest outfits, and I was just like, I love her so much.
Yeah.
She don't even know me, and I'm like excited every week to see her
Yeah.
outfit.
Yep. And I was going to say, my great grandmother was pretty much the same way, like dressed to the nine.
It's adorable. I
When
love
she
it.
would walk to church. I wasn't around at the time to see it, but I heard stories about it, and I was just like, wow, my great grandmother was an amazing woman.
Just with now we're going off on
Yeah, we're
church
going way
stuff.
off topic. Yeah. But anyway, so I have a Mount Rushmore of black wrestlers, and this is like this is for the brothers right here. So my Mount Rushmore actually goes as follows right here. So who we mentioned earlier, Booker T, he's definitely one of them for me.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, who I also mentioned, is part of my favorite moments, and I was going to say I got another favorite moment, which will be mentioned later on. Ron Simmons.
Yes, he's on
Um,
mine too.
yep. And excuse me. Another one he's always been a favorite of mine, although during the angle where he was feuding with Batista, I was kind of yelling at him because I was a big Batista guy. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the final one. Oh, this is kind of a toss up, but you know what? I mentioned it in my group text before, but I'm actually going to change my mind on this one. I'm going to go with, again, my favorite wrestler in existence, Keith Lee.
Yes, Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that Keith Lee is definitely one of those that even if you don't think about putting him on the Mount Rushmore now, in a few years when he's had his run in mainstream, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's why they put him on there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, for black women wrestlers, here's who I like. We're going to go back to the ECW days. and I was excited as hell when WWE signed her. Jazz.
Jazz has been so helpful to women's wrestling, especially because she came up to WWE during that time and worked with those girls, made Trish Stratus look like $1 million.
Yep, and on top of that, she fought men too.
Yes, tough lady.
When she was in ECW, she fought men.
Mm-hmm. Just a good wrestler, good worker.
Yeah. Yep. And another one who I've always been a fan of, even when she was in WCW and she was Kevin Sullivan's manager, when I seen her literally beating the shit out of a dude, Miss Jackie.
Yes, she is on my list as well.
Miss Jackie, if you nasty.
Jackie is so important to women's wrestling, and of course, to Black history as well as far as wrestling goes. She's a Hall of Famer. She's won both men and women's titles.
Mm-hmm.
Just one of the big stars, especially of women during the beginnings of the Attitude Era, you know. And she was really responsible for helping take those girls that were coming in the Attitude Era and helping them learn how to wrestle. She's just been such an important person. So many people, like, honestly, like the biggest wrestling girls today all will tell you Jackie is like someone that they highly look up to and respect.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep. And like I said, I was a fan of hers when I seen her just like roughing up a dude outside when Kevin Sullivan would throw his opponent outside and Jackie would be throwing forearms at him. I'm like, yo, this chick is nobody to mess with.
Yep, incredibly impressive physique. Like, you're like, yeah, she could whoop his ass. Easy. Hands down, money. She could whoop that man's ass.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You believed it. I think it was the Cruiserweight title she won.
Yeah, she won the Cruiserweight title. Yeah.
Just when I was so happy to finally see her get her Hall of Fame nod. I was like, yes, she deserves this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was always a fan of Miss Jackie. So I mentioned two, right? Okay, so here's the third one. Always been a fan of hers ever since she was in Impact Wrestling, and I was excited when I seen her on the TV show Glow. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Kia Stevens, aka Awesome Kong.
Matt, are you reading my list?
I forgot to tell you, Brandy. I think I gained telepathic powers.
I think so. I also have her on my list as well.
Wow, I was gonna say, great minds do think alike.
Mm-hmm. She's great in Glow. I freaking love her in that show.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with her as Tammy and Welfare Queen.
Yes, she played that. She played that too. I didn't even realize it was her for a while. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same woman?
Yep. Yeah, she just had a wig on, and I think from what I heard from her in an episode of Talk Is Jericho is that her mom was involved in her getting into acting.
Well, she's really good at it.
And needless to say, that wig and all that she's wearing, I think she was describing that's what her mom looked like.
Oh, that's sweet.
Because her mom passed away, and that was kind of like her nodding her tribute to her mom.
That's so sweet. Yeah, she's a legend, especially TNA. Her feud with Gail Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like, they try to recreate that with every kind of beast woman that comes along. That kind of like her and Gail had just magic in a bottle. You know, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're comparing and contrasting bigger wrestlers against smaller wrestlers. You wouldn't think that would go well, but those two had an awesome chemistry, which created some classic matches. And that's when I was heavily invested in the TNA. That's when I think, in my personal opinion, that was the peak and prime of the women's division. Not that it's not good now with names like Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering, Rosemary, Jessica Havoc. I can go on and on about their women's division because I really like it, but that to me was the prime right there.
Mm. It was the height of their division.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my last one I'm gonna name, and she's definitely a shoo-in, and I've always liked her. And I was gonna say, I hope Brandy, this is not on your list because we might have the same list, but Ember Moon.
She's not on my list, but she almost was. She
Yeah.
almost was. She's one of my favorite wrestlers. Period.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love everything about her. I think just her look, the outfits she wears, the cool ass entrance she does.
Yeah.
I saw her. I first started seeing her when she was Athena and she was doing a lot of matches with Hanaya.
Yeah.
And I was like, these two women are so, one, gorgeous, two, badass. Like, they were so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Honestly, she to me, in my opinion, is the perfect wrestler that WWE let go. Just like the one that got away, in my personal opinion, is Ember Moon. Because she had everything. She had a look to her. On the mic, she made you believe that she was badass and she was dope and she could actually be a champion.
Yeah. Well, she could wrestle, and again, she's another one of Booker T's girls.
Yep, exactly.
He knows how to pick them. Like, honestly, if, like, when I see wrestlers come up and they're, like, referred from Booker T or they've been working with Booker T, I'm like, this is someone to take a look at because he knows he knows how to find good talent.
Yeah.
She's just so interesting to look at.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same feeling I have with, like, Jade. Just so interesting visually. So cool with that.
Yeah.
And she had so many different versions of herself. Like, the beginning Ember Moon. I used to say, like, when she first started, I was telling my friends about her. I was like, she makes me think of a Kingdom Hearts character.
Right.
And then, towards the end, her and Shotzi, when they were teaming, she got really Mad Max kind of style.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, in the middle, she had definitely a very Japan style, Joshi girl influence kind of going on. I think that she got robbed, to be honest. She got robbed of the career she deserved in WWE. And I am hoping and praying she gets picked up in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I think she's like 33, maybe 31. Still young, still can go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. You talk about Jade?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Ember.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we know Jade. We know Jade can go.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is someone who I forgot to mention. And matter of fact, sorry, Keith Lee, I'm actually going to put him into my Mount Rushmore because I just thought of this guy. And I've always liked him, and I think he's very underappreciated in my personal opinion. Ron Killings, a.k.a. R-Truth.
Yes, he's definitely someone that I have on my list. I had a hard time just sticking with 4 for the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, I've got just a lot of people I think are important.
I'll just keep Keith Lee as my honorable mention because there's so much greatness in there, especially in my personal opinion with black wrestlers. And R-Truth, I'll just say this: WWE, y'all need to give him his flowers. At least maybe give him one world championship run. Even if it's not in WrestleMania, I would just love for R-Truth to have a go at the WWE Championship, even if he doesn't win it. Although I will say, if he wins it, I'm going to jump around like I won the World Series.
Yeah. Just, there's never been a time in R-Truth, aka Ron Killing's career, where he was not entertaining.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I can't think of a time where I've seen him and just been like, oh God, R-Truth or Ron Killings, like consistently an entertain. They've done well to not oversaturate him, because he
Right.
does tend to play the comedy stuff. But the
Yeah.
thing is if you've seen him outside of WWE, you know he's not just a comedy wrestler. He can go and he can be vicious.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when he was doing the little Jimmy stuff.
I have someone I want to mention
Okay, go ahead.
because he's a Southerner, and
Mm-hmm.
that is Junkyard Dog.
Ah, yeah, JYD.
Yeah, he has been very integral to a lot of wrestling in the South, and as y'all know, I'm from the South. Actually, he had a wrestling school down here in Birmingham for a while. He's from North Carolina. Yeah, I believe it's North Carolina, and he did like a lot with Mid South and
Right.
NWA, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then his school was helped turn out a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of wrestlers and give a lot of, especially down here in the South, gave a lot of wrestlers a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And like it fed he for a while there, his school like fed to like a local TV show too. So um yeah. So he was just, and he was trained by like the Hart family, if you recall.
Yeah, that's right.
So definitely an important person in wrestling history period,
Mm-hmm.
especially here in the South. He's very important to us. Unfortunately passed away in his like mid 40s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
important dude.
And
Made
I
it.
was gonna say, yeah, yeah. And I was going to say, speaking of being associated with Canada, although this has nothing to do with Mount Rushmore, I have to mention this guy because I always thought he was badass, but from what I understand, he's a bit of a tough guy because he studied judo and all that. And I'm talking about Bad News Brown.
I didn't know Bad News Brown had studied judo.
Oh yeah, he's won medals for it.
Really?
He was actually in quite a few judo competitions.
That's cool.
Yeah, so from what I understand, behind the scenes, he was a really tough dude. Like
Yeah,
nobody you wanted to mess with. And on
definitely.
top of that, I think he trained. I think he also trained with the Hart family as well too.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know. That's freaking
yeah.
cool.
Start out in Stampede anyway.
Wow. That's
But
really cool.
but yeah, really tough dude.
For sure.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely had to mention him and give him his flowers. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2007 from a heart attack.
Oh.
Yep, he died at the age of 63.
Bless it. That's still young.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
Yep. Oh, never mind. My mistake. He was actually trained by Antonio Inoki, but I think he actually
Oh, wow.
yeah. Yeah, but I think he wrestled in
Like,
Stampede, so that's my mistake.
that's just as good as the Hart family, in my opinion.
Yeah, my mistake.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I was getting that a little bit confused. I know he wrestled in Canada. I wasn't sure if he got trained in Canada or he wrestled in Canada, but I was just like, wait a minute, because I looked this up earlier. I was just like, that's right, he was trained by Antonio Inoki, because I have like a bit of a photographic memory. So yeah, I definitely felt the need to give Bad News Brown his flowers, and just really have him celebrate, especially for Black History Month,
Yeah, for sure.
because he's definitely somebody worth mentioning.
Totally.
Yeah. So I think we've narrowed down all our Mount Rushmore wrestlers, right?
Let me see my list here. Yes. I have Sasha and Bianca on mine, but we already discussed them, so yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
We also have to give Alicia Fox her flowers for being the first African American woman to be the Divas champion.
oh, of course, definitely. Yeah, we definitely have to give her props on that one.
Is Ember Moon the first NXT African American Women's Champion?
I believe so.
I think so too. So we'll give her even more props for that.
Oh yeah, yep, Yep. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, she definitely was. Come to think of it. And speaking of championships, definitely gotta give flowers to Kofi
Yes.
for defeating Daniel Bryan and becoming a championship champion. I'm not gonna lie. Watched it with my friends. We all cried.
I cried too. It's because it's Kofi, just one of the most loved professional wrestlers of all time.
And then watched it by myself. I cried again.
I understand. I cry a lot at wrestling. I'm just being totally honest.
Oh, I do too. And in the words of Chris Jericho during the Brody Lee tribute, you can cry. There ain't no shame in it, because wrestling is one of those things. It brings out all kinds of emotion.
Yeah.
You laugh, you cry, you cheer, you boo, you smile, you get angry, etc. and so forth. So anybody who roasts you for crying during a wrestling event don't know wrestling. And matter of fact, in my personal opinion, I'm not telling you how to live your life. You shouldn't be friends with that person.
Look, I am way past the days where I would apologize for being. Okay, I can't help it, and it's not a bad thing.
Right. Definitely
it just
not.
means a lot. It means a lot, because I can't speak from the perspective of being, a young black person seeing these people, but just I can speak from the perspective of being a woman and seeing the women get to do things. It makes me cry, because I can remember waiting all night to see them and them not showing up in the ring,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. So like I attribute it to like that. It's probably a similar feeling to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
definitely.
So yeah, it's worth crying about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. And another one, definitely gotta give him his flowers. And I think he should definitely and hopefully get another title run. And that is your favorite, you and Tanya's favorite, Big E.
Oh, we all know Big E's my WWE crush.
One of my
WWE crushes.
Absolutely, just like mine with Dewdrop. But it's not about that right now. Fact of the matter is that I'm giving Big E his flowers, and dude is awesome, and I'm hoping to God he gets another title run, because he freaking deserves it. Where's your continuity, WWE?
I mean, surely he will.
Yeah. Right.
Surely absolutely. They will at some point. Let him.
Well, we'll see. I haven't had too much faith in WWE's booking, but I'll try to have a little faith.
You're right, though. They kind of have been doing Big E really strange.
Oh yeah.
Because they just stuck him back. And then have you heard that they're not allowed to call him and Kofi the New Day? Like you have to
I seen
refer to them as Big E and Kofi Kingston.
I seen something weird like that, and I'm just like, wait a minute, what? It's still the New Day. So are you packaging them with new theme music or a new gimmick, or what? What's the deal? Like, you're leaving us all confused here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just specifically because he wants to keep the trio as the New Day, or if it's to like be able to keep him and Kofi as like singles competitors as well.
Right. Sure. Yeah, I'm highly confused about this. But
same.
Yeah, and that goes into my next topic, which definitely surrounds around the future of black wrestling. So one of the things I thought about, and this is actually an independent wrestler that I thought of, and I'm going to give him his props. Hopefully he watches this at some point. A favorite wrestler of mine, he's known as the Revolutionary, and he's in the Indies killing it, and in NWA, and that is a wrestler by the name of Darius Lockhart.
I don't know that name.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you get a minute, Brandy, check him out, because just his whole presence and everything, it just says superstar right there. And not only that, the guy can go in the ring, he can talk. I think he's appeared in AEW Dark on a few occasions, but this guy is definitely, he's definitely up there as far as like the future of black wrestling goes. And yeah, he's amazing. Actually, fun fact, I actually drew him for my art page on Instagram and tagged him in it, and he's actually left me a comment saying,
How
"Hey man,
sweet.
thanks." I was just like, I literally had a mark out moment. Like that was a W for me. I was just like, hell yeah, Darius Lockhart noticed my drawing.
How kind.
Yeah,
That's
like,
very kind.
Like he's dope. Like, Darius, if you're listening to this, man, shout out to you. You are dope, and I hope big things happen for you in your career, man. Because you definitely didn't have to do that. Take time out of your day to see my artwork and all. But I genuinely appreciate that.
Wow, how sweet.
Yeah.
What a nice guy.
Yep, definitely. But yeah, check him out when you get a minute.
Very cool.
Yeah, but another one, I of course I've mentioned him before, and I don't care if you call me a fanboy for it. Definitely Keith Lee. He's definitely the future. And as well as his wife, who happens to be half black, Mia Yim, who I forgot to mention.
She used to go by the moniker the Blasian Baddie.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I honestly think Mia is very underrated. Very good performer. They just haven't given her the right tools to succeed.
Well, she did a lot of stuff in Impact.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I remember that. She made a hell of a lot better impact on Impact than she did WWE, but that was no pun intended.
I think we'll see her again. Probably in AEW.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I really wouldn't mind seeing her teamed up with her hubby bubby.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely love to see that. And I was gonna say, mentioning Keith Lee, definitely gotta mention Private Party. Definitely gotta give them their flowers, whether you're a fan of theirs or not. I tell you what, like I said before, I give Isaiah Cassidy his flowers for selling and making Keith look like $1 million.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's something different. It brings something to the table, you know. It's like you said before, instead of giving them like a rapper thug gimmick, you have two guys that are kind of like the Party Boys. Oh, that reminds me too, the Street Profits.
Oh yeah, gosh, I love them.
Yep, I do too. That would actually be a dream tag team match. Street Profits against Private Party.
They're so entertaining. Like both of those.
Yep, both of those tag teams.
Promising young performers, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep, and bold statement, and I'm sure a lot of people have said this, and I even agree with it. I see Montez Ford as a world champion.
I love him.
I do too.
He has such an amazing personality. Like, it's just entertaining.
Yep, and I was going to say, him and Bianca, I see their pictures together when they're on vacation. They just look so well together.
They're super cute. They are very relationship goals.
Yep, absolutely. They are like what happiness looks like. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yep. You know, we didn't mention The Rock at all in this.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because some people will say, "Oh, he's more Samoan and all that," and it's just like, listen, there's melanin in that skin tone. Okay?
His dad is black. His mom is Samoan, right?
Yep, exactly.
His dad is Rocky Johnson.
Yep, and he even mentions that in his rap verse with one of my favorite songs to work out to, Face Off with Tech 9, where he's like, it's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour, put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours. Black and Samoan, my veins, my culture banging with strange to change the game. So what's my motherfucking name? Rock! Oh, I sort of got that verse memorized.
You don't hear, that's interesting because he is Black and Samoan, and people kick back about that, but I don't hear anyone kick it back about Sasha, and Sasha is biracial as well.
Right, exactly. But
and so is Nia Jax.
Nia
Jax is half Samoan, half white, but people were just like, oh, she's Samoan.
Right. Yep. Melanin is in the skin tone, people. You got that melanin.
That melanin, friend.
Yep. Dang right. Better believe it. Yep. Oh, another one I thought about, Kira Hogan.
Yeah. Now, she's had some drama, but I think she's past it now.
Yep. Exactly.
She's talented. She's a very talented woman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I've always been a fan of hers.
There was some drama with her hair. Like her hair and Ember Moon's hair. She thought Ember was trying to like bite her style, I guess.
Yeah, copy her.
But I think that's been, but she's been on AEW recently, hasn't she?
Oh yeah, definitely. She's been on Dark and I think a few episodes of Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but oh well, it is what it is.
What do you think about Brandy Rhodes and her place in the
wrestling business? I'll say this: I respect her decision for not signing with WWE because, for what I understand, it's almost like she's in that mindset of, they did my husband dirty, they did me dirty, so I'm not even gonna fuck with him. And honestly, I can't blame her.
Yeah. Well, it's sad that she wanted to be like in a wrestling role, and they wouldn't let her.
Right. And that was the same with another I think another interviewer. I forget her name if I'm not mistaken, but I know she was with the company for a little while, for a good hot minute. But yeah, I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But that's another story for another time. But yeah, it's a shame that WWE will put you in this little box instead of letting you go out and explore and expand. But that's another thing for WWE. I'm not going to go in on them like I usually do. or AEW. I tend to go in on them from time to time too. I'm very unbiased, for the record, people.
For sure. Someone was asking me recently about WWE and AEW, and I was like, here's the thing. AEW has surprised me more often than they have disappointed me.
Right.
And WWE has a long history of disappointing me. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's funny about that. And going a bit off topic, so I seen kind of like a little tidbit on I believe it was Instagram. I think it was one of the stories where I seen AJ Styles basically saying, I'm not against AEW or anything at all. He's like, all my friends work there. All my friends work in New Japan. Like, I want to see everybody in the wrestling business win. So, of course, I'm supporting my friends all the way 100%. It's not like I'm against them. And I feel like that's what fans need to stop doing. Stop having this thing with saying WWE's better than AEW or AEW's better than WWE. Look, if you like wrestling, you like wrestling. You know, even if you're just subjecting yourself to one brand, that's fine. You can like your brand, but don't shit on somebody else for liking an opposing brand than you.
Yeah, there's this just constant war between people over liking one or the other, and I'm just like, God, just watch wrestling, guys. Just watch wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like having a Coke versus Pepsi debate. It's just like, listen, if you like soda, you like soda. It's the same thing with wrestling. If you like wrestling, you like wrestling,
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter where it comes from. But yeah, that's the beauty of this episode too. Just like I want to promote diversity, especially with this community and all, and that's part of the reason why me and Brandy came up with the idea to do the Black History episode, because we want to promote diversity among others in the wrestling community. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, black, white, polka dot, red, blue, whatever. If you're a wrestling fan and you happen to love wrestling, we'd love to talk to you about it, or love to talk about it with you.
Yeah. Yeah. But during this Black History Month, we wanted to take an opportunity to stop and point out, those performers of color who are exceeding what they were told they were allowed to have success-wise.
Right, exactly. And on top of that, it's like I said before, me and Brandy ourselves, we wanted to take this opportunity to give these performers their flowers, especially the ones that are still here.
Yeah. Give people their flowers where they're alive to receive them.
Yep, exactly. Yep, and definitely. Oh, speaking of giving flowers, since you mentioned him earlier, The Rock's dad and Tony Atlas winning the tag team titles,
yes.
which is a great moment in Black history for wrestling. One of the first African American tag teams, if I'm not mistaken. Them and Doom with Ron Simmons and the late great Butch Reed. So that's another good African American tag team who I forgot to mention. That's my fault, y'all, because I'm a dinosaur. But
you're a dinosaur.
Yeah. It's like I said before in one of the previous episodes, I've been through the golden ages, new generation, attitude, ruthless aggression, PG era, up until the current modern times and the state of where wrestling is. I can say I'm a dinosaur. So you can feel free to call me Matasaurus. I really don't care.
Matasaurus.
Hey, I can team up with Luchasaurus.
That's true.
Oh boy. But anyway, Brandy, I think we're going to take this one home, and we're going to give our final thoughts, since I believe it's been an hour and we've been on quite a few sidebars and tangents during this Black History episode, but hey, it's all worth it. And for those of y'all that stuck it out with us and having the patience, but also really loving our stuff and been looking forward to it, we appreciate it. But also just understand too, we got lives outside of this. So for us, oh, go ahead, Brandy. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I know that you and I both wanted to kind of touch on that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, definitely. But oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Matt has let me know that there has been some clamoring for more episodes, and we are doing our best, but I would like to remind you guys that Matt and I don't get paid to do this. This is free 99 all day long.
Yep, exactly. So, free 99, I like it.
Yeah, this is a labor of love from us. Is it a business we would love to grow? Yes, of course. If we could, if it could be that all we did was stay at home and watch wrestling, and we could come on here and make you episode after episode after episode of wrestling history, I would love to do that. My original dream as a little girl was to become a journalist so I could write for WWE magazine. Like, that's how much I have wanted to be a wrestling content creator. Unfortunately, Matt and I both have adult lives to keep the lights on, and they're very busy lives. Right. Matt works a very labor-intensive job that has long hours, not to mention he has a side business of his own that he works on. I work a full-time job as well as go to school, as well as have my own side business. And quite frankly, sometimes I'm not in the best mental or physical health. So it can be a little difficult to record shows all the time.
Right.
It's incredibly flattering to know that people want to hear us talk.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it would be nice if we could have just a little grace from people about it.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get the episodes to you, but unless we put this behind a paywall, ain't nobody quitting their job to do this.
Right, exactly. And that's the one thing that me and Brandy just require from y'all, just a little bit of patience and a little bit of understanding that we didn't forget y'all. We still have this on our minds. And me and Brandy were talking about this earlier, right before we start recording, is that this is on our minds like 24/7, aside from the fact of our regular adult lives. This is on our mind 24/7, where I'm just thinking about like, oh man, this would be a good idea for the podcast, or that'd be a good idea for the podcast. But unfortunately, adult life gets in the way, and at the end of the day, we got bills to pay. And like Brandy mentioned, we ain't quitting our jobs. We're keeping the lights on and the rent paid and food in our bellies so that we are able to put money into our business finally and have us pay us handsomely and beautifully.
Yeah, I would love for it to be something that we could do more often, but it's a little difficult right now to do it as often as we're trying to get it to where we can do once a week. But sometimes, guys, there's going to be like a week or two in between the episodes because we've got housework we have to do, or laundry we have to do, or just regular people life stuff we have to do. So.
Yeah, exactly. So just a PSA, be patient. We didn't forget about y'all. And we will definitely get stuff out to you when it's in our control.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to do these and be present on social media and bring you quality content. And working all of that around an adult schedule. It's not easy.
Yep, exactly. And on top of that too, we're human. So there's that.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just not mentally healthy enough to put in the time and effort it takes to do this. Or at least me, I'm not always, because we record this and I make the things and upload this, and it takes a lot more time than you probably realize. I mean, most people are probably like, oh, it's just recording it and uploading it to YouTube. It takes more time than you think.
It's a deeper rooted situation and process than what you think it would be.
Yeah.
I
was explaining to Matt, like this morning I woke up and I had to do like food prep stuff. Then I came and we've recorded the show right now, and I ran through a tutorial with Matt, so Matt's able to help me out more with some of the social media stuff. So we did that. We recorded the show. When I get off here, I have to edit this podcast. While we've been talking, I've been making the thumbnail. So I've got the thumbnail and I've got to put these together. Then I'll have to like upload it to YouTube. And while that's happening, I have to log into my other job and do a little work for that. And then after that, I have to do schoolwork. So yeah, that's how a normal day for me looks at this point. So please, I don't say all that to guilt trip you guys. It's just to let you know that we are very busy people, but we are also incredibly flattered that you want to hear us talk, and we want to talk. It just might take us a little longer than.
Of course, and like Brandy was saying, piggybacking off her point, we're not trying to tell you a sob story so that you can have you feel bad for us, but we're, like I said, back to the PSA point. We're just requiring a little bit of patience. That's all we are asking for. Just be very patient with us. We are trying our best to get the stuff out to you. It's just taking a lot more time than you think. And for all my fellow content creators, you understand, but people outside of that would not understand. So we're just trying to get you to understand. We're not telling sob stories here. and selling Girl Scout cookies.
Exactly.
But anyway, we've actually drove the whole point home, and I think they got it. But as they say in the wrestling world, it's time to go home.
Time to bring it home.
All right. Or as I like to say, it's time to bounce out of here like a bad check. But once again, everybody, we thank you for joining us once again for another episode of Wrestling Fluency, where we speak wrestling. We hope you do too. And once again, I am the King of Pennsylvania Strong Style, the Moneymaker Heartbreaker, the Champion of Time, $1 Million Matt, and once again, my tag team partner,
the Alabama Slammer, Brandy.
All right, y'all. Thanks again for joining us, and peace out.
Bye.